In this video, I'm going to break down and review Dexter Resurrection episode 9 and talk about what I think is going to happen next. Now, unfortunately, episode 10 was leaked, and so people are putting stuff all over. It's not like you can just go and watch it, but just some people have, and there's a lot of screenshots going around. I've not seen the episode, but I've seen a screenshot from it. But you will be warned when I mention the very small thing that I saw, so don't worry, it's a safe video to watch. Of course, press the like button on the video, it does help me out, and subscribe with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. Some people have said the writers wouldn't put Uma Thurman in the show just to be the henchman of the villain, like there's more to her, but I think they've given Charley a good kind of expected backstory. She served and does what she does for Prater for her mother. We knew most of that, but I think her being in it is more likely because of what she does with Prater. Does she continue to help him, or is she part of the reason he falls? It looks like Harrison is going to save Dexter, which I really like. Almost like it's him versus Charley, both trying to save their parent. In the trailer, we see Harrison finds out almost instantly that Batista was killed, but after he saves Dexter, I wonder how he feels about that after what he said about him getting innocent people killed. And
this is a dark path you're going down. I truly hope you don't become like your dad.
I do wonder how long this team up will really last.
What do you want? A favor? After you blew up my life with your blabber mouth? What is this favor you need from me?
And of course, we've got our weekly new information on the New York Ripper, where Claudette has basically figured out what the Ripper used based on what Dexter said.
A longer object, something with a handle that could be swung, maybe with a point at the end, like a hook.
And from that, she figured it was a manhole cover hook. Now, there's one thing I do want to mention before we carry on the conversation about the New York Ripper, because unfortunately now it's public information, and doing what I do, people are messaging me and commenting it, and you're likely going to see it yourself if you consume Dexter stuff online. It's literally just one small thing that I don't think really even spoils it, but if you do want to just see it when it comes out, skip to the timestamp on the screen right now. We basically see Prater's files, and one of them are the New York Ripper with a name attached to it, Don Frampt. But I'm not going to get all mixed up on it when it's a franchise based on fake names and aliases. The Ripper himself is clearly extremely elusive. Last season, Dexter was Jim Lindsay. This season, to Prater and every one of those killers, he was Ronald Smith, Red. He met Trinity's family as Kyle Butler and went on to be known as that by them for almost the entire season.
Kyle. Oh, Jonah. Nice to meet you.
I'm surprised people think this figures it out. Why would an extremely elusive and prolific serial killer tell Prater his name? Dexter hid who he was. Claudette's meant to be really good. Gemini hid that he had a twin brother. So I don't care too much that this name has popped up. It could still be any character. People have theorized it could be. But of course, it was always the given from the start that the Ripper could just be a new character. I think that's the most expected. People say Jonah's the obvious option. I'm surprised. So if this name really is a new character, it almost sounds like a generic New York or American Italian name. It sounds like a mob boss leader. It would be interesting if the reason Melvin keeps trying to stop Claudette from investigating the Ripper further is because the Ripper's a mob boss, and he knows that if she keeps pushing it, she's gonna get taken out. Or maybe instead of Prater paying him off, it's the Ripper. A mob against Dexter would be really cool. They've just cast Steve Sharipper, who played Bobby in The Sopranos, as the landlord Vinny. That could be a hint in itself.
The hook is used by public workers in the Department of Buildings, the Department of Design and Construction, the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Do we know anyone that works in construction? Oh yeah, Jonah Mitchell. So it's likely someone that had access to them, like builders and construction workers. And funnily enough, not only did we see him help his dad with construction, but of course when we last saw him, he worked at a hardware store in Nebraska, and as you likely know already, he was using a hook as a weapon, as the Ripper was. However, this is more of a manhole cover hook, as we've seen, but what Jonah had is actually called a hay hook. But weirdly, in this same scene of this discovery of it being a manhole cover hook, Melvin said,
So the weapon we're searching for is actually a needle.
As in a haystack.
and I don't want to say that was forced, but they've definitely said funnier stuff for Claudette to finally smile at it. It was a bit of a heavy-handed, shoehorned joke. Is it a coincidence that she says,
as in a haystack?
Just as they figure out that it's a manhole cover hook the Ripper likely used, when Jonah used a hay hook. People always say the same vague thing of the timeline doesn't add up. Well, if we're talking about what Prater said, he didn't say the Ripper was active when he was a kid. He said the streets he was once a kid on. However, the timeline argument is valid because Claudette said she was investigating the case since she joined the force. You have to have really been on the force for a relatively long time to be a homicide detective like she is, but then again, she's said to be the best and sees things others can't. So I wouldn't be surprised if she climbed even quicker than we saw Deborah did, which was about 15 years. So let's say 10 to 15 years she's been on the force. The actress is 48, so let's say the character is 2. When we last saw Jonah Mitchell, he was 20. So about 11 years later now in Resurrection since we last saw him, he'd be 30s or mid-30s, the actor having just turned 39. All of the new stuff that continues to come out about the Ripper still points to Jonah, and I really like that. It's crazy because the title comes up at the start of each episode. On the top of a manhole cover, the Ripper clues have been there all along. long. He may even use manhole covers to get around. Dexter hunting for him below the city or wherever he turns up sounds really cool. Who started calling them manholes, by the way? Why not just bladder hole? Man drain. Oh, that was Deb. Melvin isn't doing himself any favours either.
It is a great fit for Harrison's dad's description of the Ripper's kill tool.
Talking of which, Claudette and Melvin completely failed Angel Batista.
I lost Dokes and Maria, but you see,
And that led him into taking it into his own hands, and when warning Prater about Dexter, also Beethor, he's captured and laid out to Dexter in his trophy room. Amazingly done. It was horrific.
I have extensive files on serial slayers across the globe.
It would be really cool if Dexter gets all of Prater's files, and in the future seasons, he's hunting these serial killers down. When he started explaining to Dexter how he could gather killers for him so he could do what he does, for a millisecond there, I thought Dexter might actually take him up on it, but of course, you know Dexter's gonna try to save Batista. I find it so frustrating that the nicest guy in the show, the person who would do everything else and anything else before being vindictive and angry, did that first. Now, I know he's different now, he's a bit older, he's obviously angry at Dexter, but I just feel like it was out of character for him to not even play along with Dexter here. They can hold Charley and Prater here and call for backup, but he went straight on to Dexter and wants to strangle him, as if he's just found out that he's the Bayaba Butcher. He already knew. So of all people to try and kill Dexter, it's Angel Batista. Love the season so far, love the episode, but I thought that was really dumb, really sad and frustrating. Like, at least have Batista play along for a bit, so we get that last glimpse of Angel and Dexter together, and then have Prater shoot him, because either way, however they did it, they wanted Batista to die here. Now, of course, I get why it happened, I get what it's gonna do to Dexter. He made the same noise he made in the same episode after Rita died. In season 5 episode 1, his vision of Harry told him to let it out.
It's okay, son, to show what you're feeling.
Because just like then, another innocent person has died because of him playing with these bad people, because of what he does. I really think he should have had more dignity here and not have his last words as F you, just the most un-Batista thing ever. This was his last words to the viewers too, even with Dokes. We saw what he mouthed just before he died. That was a very Dokes thing to do. This wasn't an Angel thing. So I would have loved if he said something Angel Batista-like, or better yet, Dexter actually told him what happened to LaGuerta and Dokes. He explained the whole season to Harrison in 50 seconds. Could he not have added Lila, that woman who tried framing him, killed Dokes when he was about to turn himself in? Deb shot LaGuerta, or he could have said it was Hector Estrada. I don't like that he died not knowing. I think it was expected that he would die this season, but with how negative and gloomy they made it, with this nice guy just hating Dexter and not even a glimpse of how he knew him, I really think this has changed Dexter and the destiny of his story. When Deb died, he fled for a new life and stopped killing. We know there's at least 2 more seasons, so what if more characters come back and they die and new characters die? We've already seen him flee and stop killing, so what's after that? You'd think it would end now with him turning himself in, do what all of these fallen characters have said he should do. Maybe if a character can listen, there's another way. That ending we wanted of Batista listening, hearing him out, however unlikely that was, Quinn might be good for that, because when he finds this out, you'd think he'd be straight to New York City to find out what happened, or if he isn't announced dead, he's gonna eventually find out that he's missing. So let's say he's hunting Dexter down, he's angry, he's not just gonna redo what Batista did and have that same ending. I would love it if he confronts Dexter, they have this big fight, but he stops and he's the character that listens. And if we go with the idea that Quinn really does know that Dexter is the Bayaba Butcher and some of the dodgy stuff he did, and he finds out what happened, it could really be him that lets Miami Metro know that he really is the Butcher. But what do you think? Did you like the episode? Do you like how they did that with Batista? How do you think the season will end? And what do you think will happen in season 2 and 3? If you enjoyed this video, go and check out my Better Call Saul iceberg. It's not just about Better Call Saul, it covers the overall Breaking Bad universe. It's more of a sequel to my Breaking Bad iceberg, and it's weirdly my darkest video. And I just uploaded a new Walking Dead What If video, What If Tyrese Survived? One of my favourite characters, so go and watch that. Also, I've been really active on my TikTok account lately, so make sure you come and follow me there. Link down below. Press the like button on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
As the Department of Parks and Recreation.
I love that show.